Hi folks, we're here with Kerry Murphy and Kevin Burns. This is actually Kevin's interview, but because Kevin and Kerry are brother and sister, I just thought it would be so interesting to talk to them together about the creation of the music for Little Things in LIL Galleries. And so I want them to say hello. Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Good. Kerry and Kelli Seeger Kim are the photographers in Little Things, and you can see their interview on each of their artist page. So if you want to see them together, go there. But this, Kevin, is your time. Hi.
Hi, Karen.
So,
Happy to meet you finally.
Say that again?
Happy to meet you finally.
I'm happy to meet you finally. Holy cow, we've all just been blown away by your music. And so I have a million questions for you, starting with, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and you play guitar and all that good stuff. Just tell us a little bit about your background.
I was probably about 5 years old, and I think I found a old broken guitar with 3 strings on it in the basement of grandmother's house. It was probably an uncle's, and it just made a sound that I was very attracted to instantly. And there really hasn't been a week since then that I haven't had this stringed instrument by my side.
Really?
I played piano, tried violin for a little bit. I love it all, but really the guitar has just been my best friend since then.
Wow. Wow. So then are you professional? Is that what you do full time?
I am. I do play and teach.
Wow. You play gigs and you play shows, gigs?
Do shows, gigs, whoever calls. I'm freelance quite a bit, and then I have my own music that I work through.
Wow.
And you record. You record people
I record.
also.
Oh, so you produce.
Some engineering, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So music is your whole life.
It is, absolutely.
Are you classically trained? Do you focus, I mean,
I am. You know, I went to college for classical. And somewhere in the middle of that, I realized I had a lot more to say. I think classical is a very disciplined art, very defined. You take something that was produced and you try and exact it and then reproduce that with each performance. And there's a passion there, but I felt always within me, even going back to that little 5-year-old sitting there with the guitar, I needed to create. More than to reproduce something that's already been done.
But classical gives you those chops.
It does, absolutely. So for the craft, I think that that was necessary, that training. But once music, I think for me, once I found that channel of creation, it was a very different thing to be able to write something. And a lot of the projects I do are very improvisational. I'll have a group of people that we may just summon a gig and we get together and it's just what happens in that moment, which is kind of neat. But those are probably where I get the greatest joy from.
And
still
so
play classical, still do that as well.
Wow. So jazz is where you went.
Yeah, I'd probably say it leans more towards that.
A little jam band sometimes.
Definitely jam
Got a
band.
little jam band thrown in there. Not very much with vocals, though.
No,
Instrumental.
Yeah.
Is the highlight.
That's very cool. My husband is a bass player,
Yeah.
jazz player, but he plays lots of different kinds of music as well.
Good.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. So then, if improvisation, and I'm just imagining that all that flow and all that music that just sort of rolls through you on a regular basis, then you're presented with images.
Yes.
I mean, when Kerry said you were willing to do the music, I was like, great, we'll pick something out of his collection. And then she said, well, he's going to write something.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, no collection. He's going to write it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to write something original for this. It's my dream come true, and Kerry's dream come true. And then how did that happen? Like, how do you... I don't even know what the question is. It's just, how does that happen?
Well, I jumped at it. I mean, it was a call from Kerry, and it was kind of, do you think you would want to write some music? And I just felt honored. I mean, obviously, she's my sister.
You got 2 weeks.
You've got 2 weeks. But I think the question's interesting because it's already art, and then I have to produce something on top of it that's another statement of art by looking at it. So it's an interesting dimension we get. And it may be, if you look at a film and music in a film, it's probably a similar thing. How do you take these little 12 little notes and put it to an image that we're looking at? I think for me, and knowing a lot of Kerry's work, it was very macro photography, very fine-tuned, detailed, colors very rich. So I think the music was started there. What can I do to create something that I visually am looking at, as well as the transitions from picture to picture, almost like walking through an art gallery. So I tried to go with that perspective in my composition, where if you listen to it, there's a little bit of a flow from place to place. Hopefully,
what's interesting about that is with the other shows that we had done up until now, I had a kind of an idea in my mind of how long we should, sit on each photo.
Yes.
Your music changed all that. I changed everything that I normally do because of your music. It was really interesting, and it really, really worked. It was like it was
and
right
really
there.
It's like a journey, a little step from this to this. That was totally apparent throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was like you left arrows going here.
Yep.
Which was awesome. I just loved it.
That's good. I was hoping that relationship would begin just by hearing it and going, okay, this hopefully would line up together.
Yeah. And what Joe, my husband, noticed, and I did too, but he put it into words. He said the use of space that you did was just so brilliant. It
was a very delicate piece. And like I said, I really tried to see what kind of textures I could create with, I think I used 6 different guitars. Even though when you hear it, you probably go, okay, it almost sounds like one. But it was the same idea as the pictures I'm seeing. How can I really make these little minute things happen in 3 minutes? She said, you got 2 weeks to make 3 minutes worth of music.
I had no idea that you used different guitars. Did you play the piece all the way through on all of them and then blend? Or
I had one guitar that kind of traveled through the whole 3 minutes, and then there was a lot of added parts. There's a little harmony that happens. One unique thing that is very difficult to do, it's called an EBO. It's a little magnetic control device that you put over top of a guitar string. It's meant to be used on an electric guitar, and what it does is that magnet causes the string to vibrate. So it gives it almost a violin sound. I've never heard of it being used on an acoustic guitar, but I really sat with it because I wanted to create kind of a small symphony of voices. Again, back to the very delicate parts of the work that Kerry has in her pictures. So I used that, and I think I used probably about 6 or 7 of those parts, a little harmony together, 6 or 7 little voices at a time through each little part of that piece.
So how many tracks did you end up with?
I think I had about 20.
Oh my God. Did you know that, Kerry?
I knew, parts of it. I mean, I know he was talking about.
It was in respect of the work that I was looking at. I knew just how delicate those pictures are, to get that close and to really see all of those elements in a tiny little leaf or a drop of water. So that was really what I was going for. Oh my God!
Well, it was so brilliant. No wonder then. It's just like it just hit a chord, so to speak, of I don't know. It's just that vibration when it hits just right and you feel it.
Yeah.
It's so emotional, and it's so.
Yep.
Oh my God! No wonder. No wonder. That explains a lot. That's brilliant. God. Now I'm just sort of sitting here going, wow.
I gotta watch that again now, right?
I know.
I know.
I know. Jeez Louise. So then you grew up with your sister and her photography, and Kerry, you grew up with your brother and the music, and art. Your father's a photographer, so you've got art in the family.
Yeah.
I actually sang more than photography when I was younger. I mean, I took voice lessons for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And then I went to school, and it was half music, I did business and music because I was conflicted, but so that was really more my focus initially, and then I honestly, I always liked taking pictures, but didn't realize until I was a certain age that, hey, I can actually do this. Like, I don't have to watch my dad and like, what? Yeah.
I know you saying you got a really nice camera, and then it was like a few weeks later, here's this giant portfolio of stuff. Like, open the door. Look what I found. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like you like a water monkey. Add water and.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I had a point and shoot that I got it for my birthday, and I was just like, I was happy to get this new camera, but I was like, this isn't really what I wanted. And then I didn't like it, and then it was like, you know what? I'm allowed to have a big girl camera. You know, I bought it myself, and it's like, this is what I wanted to do. And it just so. Yeah.
So this is a really weird question, but when you take photos and you're looking at this flower through the lens, do you hear music? Is it musical in any way to you?
Sure, yeah. Sometimes it's musical, and I think, you know, when I've told you before, I mean, it's kind of like my yoga place, too. It's just zen, maybe harmonies, maybe not necessarily song, but, you know, just sounds more, maybe, just peaceful tones. And it's not always like that, but the macro absolutely is, because it's just such a more focused kind of.
So what do you think of your brother's work? Not just for the show, but in general.
I mean, I've always loved it, and I like, I mean, it's all very different, which is cool. I mean, I love the broadness of it, and the classical is awesome, the acoustic is awesome, the electric, the jam band, and I really like the lack of a singer in most of it, just because I think it's about the music and it's different, and I understand that there's a lot of people that have a harder time tapping into that kind of music because there isn't, you know, a vocal hook or, you know, something, but there's something to be said for just the music and hearing that. And
have you guys ever thought of, or have you ever done a piece together with you singing?
I have no.
Well, we did the wedding back in the day. We sang. I was probably about 15, maybe, and I sang a few songs in the wedding. But I mean, it's been years since I've really
that was a long
sang. Like
that's happened. You're right. I've never actually written something for her to sing, though.
No.
That
would be a big coming back out of the box for
pictures. That's an option.
There we go. Yeah, create some little rights to go along with it.
That's what I was thinking. Just let me know if you ever do.
Right. Definitely, of course.
There could be little galleries in your future.
Absolutely.
So, Kevin, back to you. What do you think of Kerry's work? Like, how has it been for you watching her, I'm going to use this word, I'm so sorry, blossom?
I love it. I mean, and like I said, I think when I saw that she bought that first camera, and it just literally was like opening a door. And I'm sure my father, he's been a photographer as long as we've known him, there's probably some level of, is my work legitimate? You know, I don't know if those questions, those would be my questions if my dad was a musician. And I think to see the two of them come together was very neat. To say, wow, here's my work. Here's what I brought to you, Dad, and it's awesome, just awesome.
Has he heard? Has he seen this piece?
No, they haven't seen it yet. I did send them a copy of the music so they could hear it, but they don't have a. I'm sure they could kind of assume what the photos might look like with the music.
Right. I mean, he's seen
the end product.
Yeah, he's seen my images, and he asked me about it the other day, but I told him, wait, because we're finishing it. I wanted him to wait to see it when it's like completely, here it is.
On the site and already.
You know, here it is. And then I know that we won't hear the end of it. I told you he was like, I want a DVD of this, and I want to be able to have this always.
Well documented, right?
Right.
All that can be arranged.
You know?
Absolutely. Well, so then, Kevin, how did you, so you saw the piece and left the spaces and I hit them, hopefully. And it's, you know, Kerry's beautiful work and Kelly's beautiful work, which blows me away how they blend, how they're just so complementary to each other. And so when you saw it, what was your response? What'd you think?
One of the things I like, and everything I've watched on your little galleries is it's just very unique. The presentation. It's not just a slideshow. I mean, there's, especially in, at least seeing Kerry's work, I'm probably biased there because it's my sister, and I've seen those pictures, you know, I've held them. But to see motion, I think some of how you've done the transitions, and actually it's not just a shot, and then we go to the next shot. It's actually, there's really the movement that I found that, at least for me, the experience of writing the music, it really seemed to match together even more.
That's so good.
Yeah, I mean that was great. That was great.
Awesome. I'm so relieved. That is fantastic. Well, I would like to know then, where do we find you online? Do you have a website? Do you sell music
I'm
on
online,
iTunes?
kevinburns.com.
And it's Burns, B-U-R-N-E-S.
B-U-R-N-E-S, yep.
Yes.
And the obvious social medias, Facebook, Google+.
He started. Google
Yeah,
Plus,
I did.
Sucking him in.
Exactly.
I'm glad you did.
Beyond that, I mean, I've got music on iTunes and a lot of the other digital download places. So
That's awesome. All right. I'm going to
all
encourage
links
people
on the website.
I encourage people to find you,
Please.
purchase music. Do you have your classical stuff on there too, or is it?
You know, a lot of what I have done on, at least on most of the releases, has been electric. Some acoustic on there, but not just a solo acoustic. That's
I'm hoping
something to be out.
I'm hoping this inspires him.
Yeah.
I hope so too, because
it's
stunning.
outrageous. It's outrageous. I know. I know.
Is it?
Got a lot written. I've got a lot of little tunes on this hard drive down here. So.
Really? I mean, are you a little bit inspired now to do?
Oh,
that?
absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you know we're already standing in line, and
Right?
it's really inconvenient. We have to bring sleeping bags,
Right.
supplies.
Find somewhere to, you know, go to the bathroom behind the
Exactly.
tree. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So if you could, like, you know, cough that up sooner than later, it would be awesome for us.
Get right on it.
Well, you guys, I cannot thank you enough for doing this with me today and for being part of the show. It's so unique and so beautiful, and I'm so happy that we were able to do this with both of you.
Me too. Thank you for including us.
Yeah, and Kerry, you're online as well. Tell us your website.
I am. You can find me on Google Plus and also kerrymurphyphotography.com.
That is awesome. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you, and so Kevin, we're waiting. No pressure, but we're waiting. Okay.
Coming soon.
Okay, you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.